Hi guys, Tim Jackson, Managing Director of HSV, bringing you a business update at the start of 2019. 2018 was a massive year for us. Typically we'll deal with one new product every 2 years. That's our old world. 3 new products, 3 new production lines. And as we've recently announced, we're now into Model Year 19 Camaro and the Z01 Camaro, which everyone's really excited about. These things are all happening on top of each other, and we're really pleased we've finally got the production lines operating at the level that we want. And now it's about us continuing to match that in the marketplace, continue to evolve our portfolio as we go forward. But really, the building blocks are there. We're pleased we've got a business that we can operate and develop and evolve as we move forward. One of the big challenges is our business model has changed really dramatically. Now we buy product out of the US, ship it over here, do our changes, and what we do here is actually far more complex than what we used to do on the HSV side, because a lot of our work we're able to work with HOlden to get done in the factory in Adelaide. That change has been really significant for us, and it's really marrying up how products coming into our business, how our production works, and how that flows into our dealerships. And we're working through all those issues, and we're starting to get a really nice balance. We've got a good feel for where the demand of the product is, which we're really happy with. But I can tell you the number of things that surprised us and new things we found during that 12 months. Yes, it holds us in good stead for 2019, but it gave us some real challenges for 2018. From the moment we launched Camaro, virtually everyone said, "Oh, you're doing Z01, are you doing Z01, are you doing Z01?" And these things, albeit we share our customers and I guess our fans, we're equally excited about bringing that product to market, but we know some of the challenges and engineering issues that come with that. While we had to crash 4 Camaro SSs, we've had to crash 3 Z01s to meet the Australian standards and make sure we're certified correctly. So all those things, we know the challenges, and both these new products, the SS Camaro for Model Year 19 as well as the Z01, both needed full emissions programs as well to be compliant for the Australian marketplace. So while we share the enthusiasm and excitement, we know the challenges that sit and the work that needs to go into it, but we're wrapped in terms of the response. It's been part and parcel of our life for many, many years. Everyone wants to know what's next, what's coming. What I would say is I think we're kind of in the categories we need to be in. Obviously in this marketplace with dual cab utes and large US trucks starting to grow in that marketplace, expanding, as well as in our sort of traditional sports vehicle element and performance vehicles. I think we're largely in the categories we expect to be in long term, but we need to keep and let them evolve and develop. We had a short window to make that transition, and that's why we're really condensed in terms of timing to bring all these things to market as soon as we could, but now we can get about evolving and developing that. We tend to try to take the approach is how risk averse can we be? We're a business that takes risk. We invest, significant millions of dollars with the expectation that we can generate an outcome and get the demand for the vehicles. And we're really happy with where the demand of the vehicles are sitting right now. If we thought we could just stay exactly where we were, that was the end of business. If we only defined ourselves as the 4-door, rear-wheel drive, Aussie-built V8, we were done. That was it. There was no more. We would pack up and go home at the end of 17. But we felt we had a bunch of skills that we could explore in different areas. And we've seen that in terms of particularly some of the conversion product, which is we know how to create and invest to great quality product. And, we got an email the other day about someone just, they were nervous around the build quality. They thought there'd be squeaks and rattles because we were pulling the vehicle apart. But they were absolutely amazed that there was no squeaks and rattles in their Camaro. And that's because we are, even though we're building it for a second time, it's actually a lot of those parts are being used for the first time, and they've been designed in that way. As we've learnt, what does it cost? What does the time take? What sort of labour and skill sets do we need? That then opens up a bunch of new opportunities that we hadn't explored before. We also want to build a vehicle that we'd say makes a statement about their owner. When we first launched the supercharged GTS back in the day, we did a really, I'd say very brand-centric commercial, and it spoke about the car you drive tells the world exactly where you stand. That's what we're about. If we need to make a vehicle that really stands out from the crowd and makes a statement about their owner, and that defines our portfolio going forward, as opposed to what people used to know us for, which was 4-door, rear-wheel drive, V8, built in Australia. We knew there was going to be a lot of interest in Z01. Everyone had been asking us about it. I'm even saying Z01 rather than ZL1 now, so I'm getting in the vernacular right. It actually took me in some ways by surprise, just the it is another level again in terms of a motor vehicle. In terms of its performance, it's the way it handles, particularly around the ride and handling circuit at Lang Lang, was just unbelievably impressive. It's a significant performance vehicle, and you do get that sense of occasion when you get into the vehicle and you drive it. From a ZL1, if you look back, the last sort of significant real power up that we had was the W1, which is obviously exceptionally well received. So the ZL1 will have a little bit more power. It's got quite a bit more torque, but it's probably 100 to 130 kilos lighter than the W1. So in terms of its performance on the track, it'll exceed the W1 by a significant degree. Obviously 0 to 100 times are always dictated to by how much rubber you've got on the rear wheels, particularly in these types of vehicles. With its lighter weight, high power and high torque, it'll be next level compared to the W1. Most people will say the setup and the performance of the W1's exceptional, but it is a four-door sports sedan. This is a two-door sports car, and you do, by the nature of its format, you do end up with a very different performance package. The standard ZL1 is an extraordinary vehicle in its own right. We would have never been able to set up 3 production lines in our old facility. So one of the nice things with our new plan is we've got our administration area. So we've got sales, marketing, finance, IT are all right next door. Literally, you can see cars going past the windows. So there's a real connection, because really so much of what we do is to make sure that we can actually produce a great vehicle. So that has been a massive benefit. Plus, just we need the space. You know, when you've got 4 production lines and the nature of the conversion, it's more complex. We need to make sure we've got more parts on site, more vehicles on site, and make sure they're flowing as best as we can. What's really nice is a lot of the people and the senior leadership are all together now. But it's a 50 paces and you're out on the production line, you know exactly what's going on in real time, which is really helpful. It was a massive challenge. It's really, tidying up all the final engineering, but it's really about the people on the line. That's critical. So it's a lot of recruiting, a lot of training up new people, and what we see is that takes about 3 to 4 months before we get to a level that it's operating at the types of efficiency we want. So at our old facility, we probably had about 150 staff working across, obviously on the admin side, but also on the production line. That's ramped up to probably almost 350, depending on whether we're running 1 or 2 shifts on a particular line at any particular time. That's been one of the big changes in our business. It's nice to have everyone active and being a really significant employer, particularly with Victoria within manufacturing. And we certainly see there's opportunity for further growth as we change our portfolio going forward, and we see new products coming online. That will probably grow as we move into 2020. A really significant part of our supply base has stayed in Australia. We've got a little over 80 suppliers working with us directly here. So we've been really fortunate. A lot of our suppliers have stuck with us and they're critical to the operations. And as we've had our challenges, they've had their challenges. And especially as everyone was spending a lot of time wondering how we ramp out of automotive, and at the same time we're going, actually, we want to ramp up. We're buying more, needing more parts. So in an old HSV model, we used to do maybe 250 parts for it. Across our new ranges, we've somewhere between 1,600 and 1,700 new parts. So that's a supply base that's grown and had to develop along with us. If anyone's seen the Camaro production line, one of the key things is really wiring harnesses. Because so much of the vehicle now is running off an electrical architecture, without getting the wiring harness right, it makes it extraordinarily difficult. We work with a local supplier to work with wiring harnesses and adapt them to get them from left to right-hand drive. Turnaround and that process is one of the critical elements that makes that vehicle come to life. One of the reasons we exist is because of what has been a great relationship with HOlden, how we work together to bring, complementary product into the marketplace. And that relationship with HOlden has obviously gone through a really significant transition in terms of the types of products we do. But we couldn't be happier in terms of how we're working with them and looking for new opportunities and challenging each other to find other ways to get product to marketplace. So I think at the moment it's the best it's been since I've been involved. And we're really creative around looking at opportunities and how we can establish new products and bring new products to market. That's the update for the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. We are actually been inviting people in for facility tours where we give a more detailed update of what we're up to and understand how our business has changed. So keep a look out in social media or on the website, because we'd love to have you in and get you engaged and excited about the product that we do and what might be coming.